What is up, chat? Welcome back to another XGames live stream. My name is Josh. I'm gonna be your pilot this evening. If you guys have been tuned in to what we've been doing on XGames Social, you'll know that Real Street 2024 released about 2 weeks ago. The parts are live on YouTube. They're all rippers. We got 6 athletes, 6 very different video parts, and we're rolling out the live show tonight. Sheckler's the host. We're gonna roll the tape in just, I don't know, maybe 5 seconds. So I've done enough talking. Let's get into the show.
Skateboarding, you can't compare it to any other sport. There's set rules. Tennis court's always going to be the same. Basketball, the basketball court's always going to be the same. Unless you have the net 10 feet higher than it normally is, then you have the same struggle as what a street skater goes through in a spot that's not made for skating.
Things are happening, trying to trick in the street, cracks and cops.
You're risking your body. It's a mental battle for sure.
Once you can prove yourself in the streets is when you gain respect from your peers.
Blood, sweat, and tears. We keep doing it and we can't stop, so I think that's what love is for something.
What draws me to the skate spot is that it's unique and it looks different. You gotta be creative.
I love going through this whole process. That's what drives me.
Just so rewarding, working so hard for something.
You spend so much time filming a clip that might be a second or two.
A video part, it's like a little slice of your life.
Our trick filmed on the street, nothing beats that. This is what skateboarding is.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to XGames Real Street 2024. I'm your host, Brian Sheckler. Today, we are stepping outside of the arena and into the streets for the most authentic skateboarding competition in the world. Now, in its 15th year, XGames Real Street continues to showcase the true spirit of skateboarding and history in the making. This year, 6 professional skateboarders from around the world have teamed up with a filmer of their choice. Together, they've created 60-second video parts to feature their best tricks, creativity, and style, all filmed entirely in the streets. Today, we'll get an inside look at each team and see what it takes to make a video part. Then, our expert panel will judge these parts on a scale of 0 to 100 and award one team an X Games gold medal. Before we meet our judges and we dive into the action, let's take a look at some athletes who have already made history in X Games Real Street. And that is why X Games Real Street has become a staple in street skateboarding over the past 15 years, from legends like Nyjah Huston, Daewon Song, Dylan Reeder, Tori Pudwell, Jamie Foy. Everyone has been a part of Real Street. And speaking of legends, let's meet our experts who will be judging this street competition. So guys, it's an honor for me to be here today with you. I'm super glad I don't have to judge this, but what is the importance of Real Street? What you guys are looking for, judging criteria for the skateboarders we're about to see?
Yeah, I'm just looking for creativity. You know, it's good style, clean style. I personally like technical skateboarding.
As a certified Class 5 skate nerd video guy, the format's tricky, right? Because you got 1 minute. You have a really condensed time to like put all your footage together. So you don't have room for like a lot of B-roll and any basics that you would have had in a full part that's 3 or 4 minutes. You probably can't use those. So it's hard to have to nitpick and get that down on someone's skating. But if you have to judge, you have to make a decision. Those are the kind of things I'm looking for.
Just give me your best in 1 minute. Don't like put the filler. All killer, no filler.
It is hard to set a tone in 1 minute and wrap it up. You can't waste any time. You can't waste any tricks. But I mean, we're here because of the skateboarding, but I feel like how the filmers document it really makes or breaks the footage, and it makes or breaks the video parts. Yeah, sure. It fully matters. You know, without the filmer, you're left with just skating, and that doesn't translate, you know, if you don't have someone that's like telling that story with a thoughtful eye.
I think that's what we're gonna see today is these 6 athletes and their filmers really going for it and trying to put their best foot forward for 1 minute of footage. Stay tuned, because when we return, we will dive right into the action with Brazil's Carlos Ribeiro and his filmer, Eric Iwakura. Welcome back to X Games Real Street 2024. I'm your host, Ryan Sheckler. Just to recap, X Games Real Street is the pinnacle of skateboarding video contest. Top skateboarders from around the globe have filmed their best tricks entirely in the streets and put them together in a 60-second video part. Today, they're battling out for a chance to win X Games Gold. All right, so we're gonna get right into it. First up, we have Carlos Ribeiro and his filmer, Eric. What do you guys expect to see from this?
So I'm excited to see what he's got here. I mean, I'm a super fan of his skating. Clean, buttery ledge tricks and ultimate control on a flat bar.
And I think about switch tricks looking regular, hard in-twos, out-ofs, flip in, flip out. Carlos is great.
I just expect nothing but the best from both of them because they're the best at what they do.
Let's get into it. This is our first submission for this year's X Games Real Street. Check it out.
Around 11 years old, I remember that I was like convicted that I'm gonna be a pro skater. That's what I want to do for my life. Thank God I had the full support from my dad and my mom. I grew up in this town called Novo Hamburgo. It's in the south of Brazil. Coming from a poor family, it was hard for me to go to contests. And my dad had to like lay off the electricity bill. I remember times when like the electricity got shut off in our house. Like, we don't care about this. Let's take you to this contest. It's gonna help you grow. And that was very important. When I was 15, that's when I realized for me to be a pro skater, I need to leave Brazil. And my mom never hesitated. She's like, I'm not gonna stop you from going for your dream. You better go. When I showed up to California, things moved real quick.
Carlos Ribeiro making his third X Games appearance.
Filming video parts means the world to me. That's what drives me. When it comes to street skating, you want to do your best trick at that spot. It's a mental battle. You get a clip that's never been done on a spot that's been skated for like 30 years. It's such a rewarding feeling. I love it. I picked Eric Iwakura for this project. The best filmer in the game.
It was a dream of mine to like move to LA and see the skate life. When I moved from Brazil, I didn't know nobody, but I had a camera, so every Sunday, I started bringing my whole setup to Jake One because it's a legendary spot. And Carlos was there. That was the beginning.
We have a great connection. He knows how I work.
He's super technical. He always wants to push himself.
This real street part, it's a little different for me because I've been hurt. November 2021, I tore the deltoid ligament in my ankle. And that was a pretty bad injury. It took me about 1.5 years to get back from it. And then I got back into filming and I got hit with a blood infection. It was like out of nowhere. I was feeling good and next thing you know, I'm in the hospital. It was a lot of risks of a lot of bad things could happen. They did a surgery on my ankle and my wrist and thank God nothing bad happened. This is the first video I'm putting out after my surgery. Finally feeling good again on my skateboard.
He's like, okay, I'm gonna get through this. Tomorrow I'm gonna do better.
Just do your best at all times. And your best today has to be better than your best from yesterday. Coming from the third world environment, there's definitely a huge sense of gratitude. I definitely went past my expectations of what I've dreamed of being a pro skater. I'm just thankful, man. I'm just very, very thankful. My name is Carlos Ribeiro, and this is my X Games Real Street part.
So that was Carlos and his filmer, Eric, kicking it off for us. How do you guys feel about what you just watched?
He starts like you're supposed to, right? You start with a bang and you end with a bang.
Yep.
Yeah.
And his last trick was like the best. I mean, you couldn't do that any better. And I don't even know anyone that could do that trick.
That is so insane. It looks effortless, but that's his style, you know?
It's so cool. He's also creative, you know, that like susky the inside of the planner and a big spin out. It's cool. Like I would never imagine that's the trick you do at that spot. I mean, he never disappoints, never disappoints.
How did you guys like the filming?
Yeah, it's a good edit. They seem like a real complimentary filmer-skater combination.
They're homies.
Yeah.
You can tell.
You can tell.
Yeah, I feel like the chemistry was there, and I feel like the filming should make everything just look good. You really shouldn't be thinking about the filming so much. If occasionally a trick is filmed and it just is like, wow, that was filmed amazing. But for the most part, it should be something where you're just watching it effortlessly and you feel like you're just seeing it in the best possible way. And I feel like Eric nailed that.
All right, well, we're just getting started here at X Games Real Street 2024. When we come back, we are taking it from Brazil to the streets of Philadelphia. Stay tuned. Welcome back to X Games Real Street 2024. I'm your host, Ryan Sheckler. We just witnessed an incredible video part from Brazil's Carlos Ribeiro. Next up, we have the East Coast finest, John Shanahan and his filmer, Brian. Guys, what are you looking forward to seeing in this?
It's got to go to Vern first. Resident Philadelphian.
What do you think?
Yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of Philly, East Coast crusty spots, hard to skate spots, not like what we just watched from Carlos's part, you know, like perfect California spots. It's going to be the total opposite vibe. Penny's a great filmer. Can't wait to see the part.
All right, so this is video number 2, X Games Real Street 2024.
I don't like just your everyday cookie cutter, stair set, handrail, perfect ledge, you know, like I like the obstacle to be unique. It's more challenging when it's not so perfect. My name is John Shanahan. I'm from East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. I think what makes East Coast skateboarding so unique is that there's a lot of different variables. The spot could be very rough, cracks, doesn't grind very good. Not everything's gonna work out a certain way, so you have to learn how to adapt to your settings. My biggest East Coast influences are Josh Kalis and Stevie Williams. Just their style and how they do their tricks. It really influenced my skating. Real Street is a unique contest. In a traditional contest, people are like cheering you on. They want to see you do good. And when you're filming for a street part, you got all the elements going against you.
No, yeah.
Penny is one of my favorite people to work with in skating. If we're filming something, he's gonna make it look as good as he can, which is probably the most important thing with a filmer-skater relationship, trusting that their vision is on point with yours.
Me and John work pretty well together because we have the same eye for spots. We like the old spots that have been skated for years. We like spots that have been forgotten about and we kind of bring back to life. And we like spots that almost impossible to get time at.
How you gonna come in the building?
Filming with John is nice just because he really tries hard. He has a vision for everything, even like how everything looks, from clothing to spots.
If you mix in style and do your tricks a certain way and show your personality through your skating, I think that goes a long way. For this Real Street part, I just wanted to keep it in the city. Every trick is in Philadelphia, mostly downtown. Just give it that city feel. That's what I like to see in a video part. It means a lot for me to carry the East Coast tradition forward And to show that through my skating is pretty much the whole goal. My name is John Shanahan, and this is my real street part.
Guys, what do we think about that? Jamie, I'm gonna start with you. What do you think about that part?
I think it was all the things we thought it would be. You had the rough spots, the city ledges. All of it was filmed in Philadelphia, and you had the East Coast flair and all his gear. It was what we'd expect.
Okay. Jason, what do you think?
I think a lot of times when you watch him skate, it's not exactly what he's doing, it's how he does it. He made a half cab look so sick down a set of stairs. It's a half cab and a front board, and it looked awesome.
Yeah.
Obviously, his last trick, tray flip, and it's like, you know, on paper, you're like, oh, it's a tray flip, but it looks really good over the bar.
That's cool. Baron, what do you think?
East Coast spots don't necessarily translate that well, I think, in videos because they're really crusty. And then like some of the spots he's skating like high level busts, so like it's like you can't even be there all day.
You're getting
like,
5 tries and then you're out.
Yeah, like, you know, a lot of East Coast spots are like quick hits, so.
Does that factor into the way that you're gonna judge a part like that? Is knowing that you're from there and that you know that, like, yeah, you might only get one shot, and to do a gnarly trick on a spot like that, like.
Yeah, I take all that stuff into consideration. That's like real street, you know, like getting kicked out of a spot.
Right.
That's about as real as it comes, you know.
Speaking about the streets being rough, when we come back, we're gonna show you just what it takes to film one of these video parts, slams and all. Stay tuned. Welcome back to X Games Real Street 2024, where some of the world's best skateboarders compete in a unique video competition for a chance to win an X Games gold. We've already seen 2 incredible and 2 very different video parts from Carlos Ribeiro and John Shanahan. And while these guys sometimes make it look easy, next we will show you just what it takes to film an X Games Real Street video part. I love this side of skateboarding, what we just saw, and I think that the viewer needs to see what it takes to actually push yourself past the boundary of fear and to get a video part done. Jamie, what is a section and a montage like that? Like, what does that stir up in you?
I mean, it makes me feel uncomfortable still. You know, it is a lot to take in. Like some of those slams, I mean, multiple guys are falling on their heads and there's multiple knockouts in there. And the reality is that can happen. I mean, skating's dangerous. It's just a part of it. And we know that from a really young age. And that, you know, there's a saying, you cruise around with dynamite in your pocket long enough, it's bound to go off.
Speaking of someone who knows how to slam, let's check out our third team from the land down under. We have Ben Lawrie and his filmer, Jeff Campbell. Check it out.
I've knocked all my teeth out and broken my jaw, broken all my fingers. My wrists are broken currently, got bones sticking out. I'm broken already. I'm only 27. My name is Ben Lawrie and I'm from Melbourne, Australia. Growing up here, it got me into skateboarding. Melbourne's the hub for skateboarding in Australia, and so representing Melbourne is definitely a big part of my identity.
I've been filming with Ben for almost 10 years now. He sets a high standard for himself and he really puts in the work to get tricks that are gonna outdo what he's done. That's what filming video parts is all about, is showing some sort of level of skating that's almost out of reach even for yourself. The streets is an uncontrolled environment. You're dealing with security, cops, traffic, pedestrians. And generally the spots are just much harder to skate because they're not designed for skateboarding. A couple of years ago, Ben took a break from skateboarding. He seemed to be on top of his game, and then suddenly he just disappeared.
I got super burnt out. I realized that I wasn't enjoying going skating and I was just putting way too much pressure on myself. And so I just stopped skating.
It's frustrating skateboarding and it's hard. Not only does it like beat up your own body, but you can also just dwell on not landing tricks. It's enough to drive you mad.
I had a lot of stuff that I had to figure out so that I could feel comfortable and know that I can handle myself outside of just skateboarding. After about a year, I actually started skating again. Since coming back, I enjoy it a lot more, and I'm not trying to force it.
He found new ways to deal with things instead of beating himself up so much. He just seems a lot lighter and just enjoying it more, and I think it shows in his skating.
I'm definitely the least known person in this year's X Games Real Street, but I think that's kind of a good thing.
What's up?
I think it could work to his advantage. He's got a unique way he skates and the way he does his tricks. People that don't know too much about his skating could be really impressed by what he can do.
Jeff and I definitely aligned with our vision. I'm really proud with what we put together. I don't have the expectation of winning, but I need the money. I live in my parents' house. My name is Ben Lawrie, and this is my X Games Real Street part.
All right, Ben Lawrie and Jeff Campbell doing it for Melbourne, Australia. What are the first impressions? I'll start with you, Jamie.
I liked, first off, that he was just like cruising through the streets and, you know, doing lines. And he seemed like he had a good speed, you know, to his skating, and I liked the song. So I was definitely feeling the part.
It made me want to go skating. Like, just even the first line was sick. Just starting out with a nose blunt. The back tail over the stairs, too. with the security guard, you know, the bust factor. Like, you're not really going to be there all day.
Like the nollie heel and the pedestrians in the way, the
sick.
girls in the
That was
way
my
of the
favorite
trick
trick.
while it's filming past.
Yeah.
Those kind of things you can't plan out.
Yeah, he did it. He did it so well. And the switchback tail, switchback side flip out was amazing as well.
Awesome. What about the last trick?
I think it's amazing. I think it's one of the gnarliest tricks we've seen so far. Single tricks. I'm pretty critical about the way things are landed, and you know, I know it's insanely hard, and I never could do that in a million years. But I would have loved to have seen it landed a little bit cleaner.
I liked it, and it's almost like it added flavor to the part. Skateboarding doesn't always have to be perfect. Sometimes if you do it not perfect, there's a little intangibility to it that gets me excited. And then he does like the switch heel in slow-mo after. It's like edited well. He skates super fast. I like the whole thing.
I gotta agree with Jamie on this one. Sorry, Jason.
Here comes the hater.
Dude, the last trick was so good. I just wish he landed it better. I've never been a fan of the hands down on a make.
All right, amazing insights as always, guys. Coming up, we have the next 2 video parts from Felipe Gustavo and Julian Lewis. Stay tuned. Welcome back to X Games Real Street 2024. We are halfway through today's competition with 3 teams left to show us their 60-second video parts filmed entirely in the streets. This is all for a chance to win X Games Gold. So far, we've seen amazing parts from Carlos Ribeiro, John Shanahan, and most recently, Ben Lawrie. Next up, we have Julian Lewis and his filmer, 2 times Real Street Gold medalist, Don Long. Guys, what do you expect out of these 2?
So far, we've had 3 ledge guys, right? You know, like they're hitting ledges, they're hitting off a 2-stair, 3-stair, and then with Julian, you know, it's just gonna come to like death-defying long rails and stuff like that. So this is gonna be our first hucker.
I also know that Julian can switch it up and he can skate everything. So I'm hoping that he does that a little bit, but I definitely want to see the big Julian rail tricks.
Yeah, let's get it. Play the hits. Julian Lewis and Don Long.
Mike Sinclair, the team manager of Foundation, calls me. He's like, hey, you should go skate with this kid, Julian. He's ripping. And I'm like, let me see. His footage was so mind-blowing, I literally called him the next day like, hey, dude.
My name's Julian Lewis. I'm from Newtown, Connecticut. I think it's crazy that me and Don are working on this video because when I first moved here, I didn't know him at all, and I wanted to be friends with him so bad.
The first thing that I noticed about Julian was that this guy does not care about his body. It's scary, but I'm not scared for him. because he's just so talented.
When I started skating, my mom was hyped on it, but my dad just saw it as like a fun hobby. Like, college, get a job, support yourself later in life, and I'm like, yeah, I will. I definitely was trying to prove to my father and myself like what I can accomplish. That was the motivator to keep on pushing. My dad came around a bit when he started seeing me get a little bit of success. Turning pro was definitely like my dream come true. It took a while for it to click in. I thought I really didn't deserve it, and I've always been pretty hard on myself. So now I try to treat myself nicer. I'm more content with who I am, and then I don't need to prove anything now.
Let's film a fish first, and then we'll do long lens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going in the real street, I knew I wanted to work with Don.
I'm honored and hyped to be a part of the Real Street contest. And this is my 6th one. Me and Cole Wilson were fortunate enough to win twice. With Real Street, you always want to showcase your best stuff and present what your take on skating is, because that's so different from filmer to filmer, skater to skater.
I'm known for skating big rails and doing big stunts. For this video part, I wanted to be a little bit more well-rounded. I feel like my skating has evolved. Definitely gives incentive to go hard, because me and Don are a team. I wanted to see us on top. My name's Julian Lewis, and this is my X Games Real Street part.
So that was Julian Lewis and Don Luong. Guys, that was incredible.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. I mean, Julian gave us what we wanted, and it was the first part that we had seen where the skating was edited to the music. You know, he's landing on the beats, and there was some B-roll in there, kind of showing a little bit of Julian's personality.
Yep.
And thought it was great. And he also switched it up. I was hoping he would, and he did. Like, he definitely brought some different tricks and elements to his skating. The wall ride backside nollie flip out was just done so well, and it was like in a crusty street spot.
So there's nothing perfect about that spot, and I can't believe he did like a backside nollie flip out of a wall ride.
It was so good,
That was like my favorite trick in the part, actually.
That first trick is at Colorado Lagoon in Long Beach. I've gone there. That's not a rail people skate. It's not like something you look at. I don't know how he went there and thought, oh, I'm just gonna grind this thing and not fall into the water right here. The wall ride, tail block slide off the fence. Sound is really good. You can hear him like buzzing off that chain link.
He also, you know, gave us a big rail, and then the switch nose manny, fakie ollie, the fakie grind on the kinker. Like, that's the creativity that I want to see in a skateboard video part. Something that I would go to that spot and never think about that in a million years.
Right.
It's cool to see someone put those two things together.
That was number 4 down. We have 2 more video parts left. Coming up next is Felipe Gustavo and his filmer, Daniel Gali. What do you guys think that is going to be about? Because we know Felipe is a technician.
I see him a lot at contests, so I'm excited to see what he puts out on video. But I know it's gonna be flip in, flip out. Everything's gonna be buttery perfect. Yeah.
All right, so coming up next, one of my favorite skateboarders, Felipe Gustavo. Let's see what he has for the judges. Run it.
Skateboarding changed my life, changed my family's life. It changed my story. I grew up in Brazil. I used to play soccer as a team sport, but I would just come home kind of like mad because nobody gave me the ball, I didn't score. And when I first started to skateboard, it was just me on the board in front of my house trying to kick flip for like 5 hours. I fell in love with it. Started skating contests here in Brazil. My dad was like my biggest supporter. There was like times in life that my dad would not pay the rent. He would just buy the ticket for me and him to go to São Paulo, 16 hours on a bus, win the contest, it would come back. 2006, there was this like overall ranking. If I got the top ranking, they would give me a ticket to go to Tampa, the most famous amateur contest that's out there. So I ended up winning the ranking, but it was a fraud, so they never gave me the ticket. My dad knew how much I wanted to go, so he sold the family car and got us 2 tickets round trip to Tampa. And I remember going straight from the airport to the skate park. We had our luggage and spoke no English. We walked in, and that's when my life changed forever. That was my day. The kid from Brazil, didn't speak English, 15 years old, won Tampa Am. When I got back home, I was like, Dad, I need to go to California. It's been 17 years now. For Real Street, we got to pick a filmer. For me, it's like one of my best friends from Brazil, Daniel Galli. He lives in Portugal now.
Me and Felipe had the idea to film mostly in Portugal. It's a different vibe, just the way spots look, with the cobblestones and all the color of the city.
Portugal is nice and mellow. There's not that many skaters, not that many people. I mean, the fact that we can just skate like 5-6 spots a day is just incredible. I like to make things nice and clean. I do film things over and over until I get the right one. I want to make sure when I present that to the world, it's the way I want them to see it. That's the thing about this contest, is like it's real street. We're really out there trying our best. So I wanted to make sure that this is something I'm happy with. I'm excited to put this out. This is Felipe Gustavo, and this is my X Games Real Street part.
So that was kind of what we expected to see with Felipe Gustavo, just absolute technician. And Jason, I'll start with you. Like, what did you think about that?
The mirror line was so sick. First thing I thought, kickflip nose blunt, switch flip nose blunt. That's like a tasteful thing to put in your part. Nollie tray flip back tail, you can make that trick not look good. He made it look really nice.
Yeah, and the switch flip back tail, switch flip out to forward, he did with such a short slide. That's so precise to get in that fast and to not slide, get comfortable, get your feet in the right position and flip out. He got in and immediately switch flip forward out. It was honestly as good as you could do.
Yeah.
Every trick in his part was a flip trick. Every single trick involved a flip. And he did the most tricks so far.
Not many people in this contest could do most of the tricks that Felipe did. And, you know, and also the ending, this, you know, the switch frontside flip, Kurt Grimes, was just, he did it so well.
All right, guys, so that was Felipe Gustavo. Incredible video part, but do not go anywhere because when we come back, we have our last skater, and that is Braden Hoban. Stay tuned.
Chat. Dude, as much access as I've had to this footage, I've purposely not watched any of the parts until now just because I wanted to watch it with you guys. I've posted the social clips, but I purposely have not watched any of the YouTube videos. Luckily, we have someone else to post that stuff, so I got away with it. But I'm not the footage has been a lot more than I've expected this entire time. So how are you guys feeling about it? I went into it thinking I knew who was gonna have the best part, but from what we've watched of the 5 out of the 6 parts, like my mind is changed. So I don't know. Chat, tell me what you guys are thinking. Some of that stuff, like it was insane. And don't forget, fan vote is in the chat right now. So if you guys want, you can maybe get some extra cash. I think fan vote's like 5 Gs, 5 racks, dude. Come on. Hit that xgames.com/realstreet. Vote for your fan favorite. I can see the polls of where people are at right now, but you know, anything could change if you guys all get in there. Carlos has the best part. I mean, it was pretty good. That's the most structured dude on a skateboard on the planet. Julian definitely had the most complete part. But I mean, I'm biased. Like I grew up with that dude. He's the man, you know? All right. We have one more part left. We got Braden Hoban, the G. So stay tuned. Let's watch that. After that, we have the post show, so don't go anywhere. Let's find out who won.
All right, guys. Well, it's time to move on to our final team, Braden Hoban and Cody Long. And we all know that Braden has just been absolutely killing it over the last few years in competition, for sure in the streets. What do you guys actually expect to see in this 60-second video part?
He's at that sweet spot in his career. You know, you have like these times where you level up a little bit. Like, I feel like he's just rolling. He can do anything. Go to the contest, kill it.
Yeah.
You watch video part, you can't believe how good the video part was. So yeah, I'm excited to see what he's got.
I'm never disappointed watching any of his footage or seeing him in a contest. Like, it's like a blessing to watch him skate.
All right, so let's keep it moving. Our last entry for X Games Real Street 2024. Here's Braden Hoban and Cody Long's video part.
Braden just gets clips, always. Even if like everyone's having a rough day, they'll be like, well, at least Braden got like 6 clips.
I am Braden Hoban. I'm from Encinitas, California. Skating's always been a big thing in San Diego in general, and definitely in Encinitas. We had the YMCA down the street. It was easy for my parents to drop me off at the skate park for the day. I was kind of just sharpening my sword. 7th or 8th grade is when I started street skating. My dad brought me and my friends out to the streets, and I realized how special the energy of street skating is. When I was 17, I got invited to go on a toy machine trip. I was just a nervous kid getting thrown into the van with all these skaters that I grew up idolizing. That trip changed my whole view on life. It was like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, Braden.
In 2022, I got invited to the Street League Hubba Hideout contest, and somehow I ended up winning. It sparked off everything after that. I got invited to the Real Street Best Trick, and then going to X Games.
Braden Hoban! If you haven't heard about Braden Hoban before, you've been living under a rock.
I'm very lucky to have the opportunity to be a part of all these events. It's been amazing.
Dude, just keep falling off of it. What the heck?
Like a wall ride. Pop out.
I wanted to do this whole Real Street video part with Cody Long, but just from being on the road so much, I ended up with footage from all over, but Cody's still editing it.
He had so many tricks to choose from by the end of it. I got to a point where it was kind of hard to figure out what I was actually going to use.
I could go over to Cody's house and we could talk about the vision we want to do, the song. We can kind of just bounce ideas off each other.
I'm looking at the same edit all day. He sees what I don't see, and it's nice to have that interaction like I got with Braden.
I wanted to put my heart and soul in this contest and give it everything I got. My name is Braden Hoban, and this is my X Games Real Street part.
Inside my lungs, and I lost touch of where I'm from. Goddamn man that I become. The rock upon which I stand, I chipped away and turned to sand. Love remind me who I am.
I'm almost speechless.
Really? Wow.
Every trick's like a hammer, and a minute wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, he came out swinging with that big backsmith. It's such a heavy trick to start with.
The backsmith's so dipped, it almost looked like he went to back lip.
I like to feeble grind through that kind of curved rail thing. Yeah, and that last board slide just looked dangerous. Like super dangerous. Like,
was every trick a rail trick?
No, there was like some gaps. He did like a hard flip down a gap and a varial heel.
Yeah, that's true.
I got all the tricks in my head still.
Thought he was wearing a cape at one. In the third clip, I'm like, is he wearing a cape?
No,
He's got a vest on.
Yeah.
He's so good though. He might as well be rocking a cape.
Amazing. Well, I mean, after seeing that, you know, your guys' work is cut out for you. You guys are the ones that are in charge of figuring out who's getting bronze, silver, and gold. So what do you guys think? Like, how are you even gonna go about this?
I have like 3 or 4 parts in my head that are vying for the top spot. Carlos's part is a huge standout to me. He starts off with a banger. He ends with probably my favorite trick of the whole day, which is the back nose blunt nollie backside flip. Braden's part is just so well put together. I like Ben Lawrie's part a lot. I think it was super fun. Felipe does amazing stuff. Probably those are my top 4 right now, and I just gotta figure out where they're all gonna slot.
You know, the parts that really resonated with me were Julian and Braden's. I definitely, historically, have kind of been drawn to that type of skating, whether it be my personal skating or the parts that I love to film and edit. So those guys are definitely in my top 3. I really like Carlos's stuff, how smooth he is.
Felipe's skating is so good. Just all the technical stuff like that I wish I could do that I'll never do. And then Braden is doing all the big stuff that I wish I could do that I'll never do. Julian, one of my favorite tricks of all the videos was actually the wall ride nollie flip out that Julian did. Like, it's so hard. Everybody like really killed it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all on the same page here, and what I'm hearing from you guys is like what you wanted to see is the full package. You wanted to see technicality, you wanted to feel like the video part was done, like the music was good, and that the editing was cohesive with the style to the skateboarder. So before we get any further, I had you guys write down your scores, and I'm gonna read them off. We're gonna have the medal ceremony right here, right now, right here. So, you guys want to know?
Let's hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Getting the bronze medal with an average score of 86.33, we have Carlos Ribeiro.
Nice.
His part was great.
Makes sense, man. I mean, he delivered.
He got the best trick I saw all day with the back nose blunt nollie backside flip, so I'm glad he's getting rewarded for that.
Silver medal with a average score of 87.33.
Close.
Very close. 1 point is Felipe Gustavo.
Wow. Tech's winning right now.
He was very technical, like you guys talked about. He got in quite a bit more tricks than everybody else.
Yeah, I think he did like 17 tricks where most people did around 10.
Yeah.
And they were all gnarly.
He is probably one of the best technical skateboarders I've ever seen.
I would agree with that.
All right, so the gold medal with an average score of 91.66 is going to Braden Hoban.
Was that unanimous? I think we all had. I think we might all. It might have been a unanimous.
That's a pretty high
pick, right?
score.
He had the big tricks and he had some technical skating in there. He kind of like, he brought it all. So it makes sense that he won gold, and I'm happy for him. He's a good kid, and
he's gonna be stoked.
That last board slide was so sick. That spot's gnarly. I love that 50-50, like that long rail.
Yeah.
It seemed like 1,000,000 yards long.
I don't even think we discussed that one.
Yeah.
When I first watched it, I openly gasped. I was like, oh, because you can tell how he's just cooking at the end of that thing.
That part was incredible, and I wanted to keep seeing that part like go.
The only knock we had on his part that it couldn't be longer and we couldn't watch more footage. So yeah, he brought it.
Yeah, he brought it.
All right, so that is a wrap for X Games Real Street 2024. We saw a lot of incredible skateboarding. We had great judges that helped us get to our podium. Big congratulations to Carlos, to Felipe, and then to our big winner, Braden Hoban. And we will see you guys at X Games Real Street in 2025. Keep it in the streets, keep having fun. See you guys soon.
Chat. That was pretty crazy. I'm very glad that I'm not only proud of myself for the self-control for not watching any of those parts, but I'm glad I got to sit here and watch it with you guys. Watching the chat, I'm glad everyone kind of had the same feelings as me. And overall, it seems like the response to this contest has been pretty positive. And you guys kind of get it. Look, the reason we do this is that every skateboarder starts in the streets. Every action sports person has roots in the streets, right? There's BMX, snowboarding, skiing. Everyone hits the streets at some point. And we feel that as a brand, X Games, who like to showcase action sports, we felt that we needed to give back to these streets. And that's why we do this contest. And it's how we showcase these athletes that are typically in these well-groomed, perfect courses competing at the every aspect of what's going on that day is catered towards these athletes performing at the highest of their abilities. So by putting them in the streets where you can't control anything like that, we like to see what they can do there too. And it really did not even come close to my expectations. It broke them far beyond. That I love this contest. Also, everyone's yo, Mike, what's going on with that? I just got this headset, bro. Tell me, should I pull it back? Scuffed audio. It's my first time, man. I don't know how to stream, dog. But chat, how are we feeling about that contest? What do you guys think? The medalists. How do we feel about that podium? Either work. The voice in my head said they're working on my audio. You guys think great top three? I wasn't surprised by it. I mean, Braden Hoban, it seems like he's been on kind of a tear recently. He's been winning everything. They said now it's worse. This is not pre-record. How's it going? How are we doing, guys? How's the voice? Hey, Tatiana, thank you. I appreciate it. Unplug, plug it back in. I don't know how to do any of this. Bueno? Mike. So guys, we have a very special guest too, Jesse Fritsch, who's one of the organizers of this contest. We're going to bring him in. We're going to talk about what it's like to get this contest going, what it means for the community. Let's get Jesse in here. Jesse.
Yeah, what's up, Josh?
What's up, man? How you doing? I'm
doing good, man. I'm good. I'm glad that it's always a relief when it's done. When we watch it, it's out there. The judging is done. The medals are done.
It's finally come to fruition.
It's done. Yeah, we did it. 15 years. 15th year Real Street. I haven't been there since the beginning, but 15 years.
This is wow. Okay, I did not know that. I started watching. I want to say I started watching Real Street. I'm a huge fan of Nick Trapasso, and I think
On the
I
first
probably
one.
was watching before that. That was the first one?
That was the first one. Nick Trapasso was
All
the
right.
first. So you've been there
I've been
since
here
day
since the
one.
beginning then. Dude, because I was a massive Trapasso fan, and like his part was the first like standout part that I think I went back and watched it probably every single day.
He was incredible. I mean, he ended with that. I think it's that switch flip in Arizona. And they're talking about the hand down in here with Ben's part. Honestly, it's one of my favorite things in all the videos. And Nick definitely had one of those when he started off. So,
Dude,
no,
I
been there.
when Vern said that too, I saw chat and people were saying they had some mixed feelings about that judging there from Vern, and Vern's the homie. But I personally like when a rollaway kind of looks like that, because it's like you can land bolts and roll away, and like that means you did the trick well, right? But if you can roll away from like a sketchy landing and stay on the board, it's harder than landing.
Yeah, I mean, I could never do not a single trick that was in this entire thing, but that trick in particular, or Ben's part in particular, I loved it. I mean, that was definitely one of my favorite parts, and I loved how he landed it sketchy. So I was in the camp of Rothmeyer on that one, but
yeah,
before I forget, I don't want to I want to make sure, this is Mike Sinclair's baby. He started this whole thing 15 years ago. So when I say I've been involved since 2017, but all this was Mike Sinclair. He really brought this to life.
We got to give our flowers.
Absolutely.
And Mike probably had a hand in putting almost all those athletes on too. Like he scouts.
Absolutely. I mean, in so many ways, he's hooked up countless people, whether it's through Real Street or different brands or whatever that might be. He loves skateboarding. I mean, with everything in him. So, I'm so grateful that Mike brought me into this one.
Yeah, chat. Let's get some W's in the chat from Mike Sinclair while we're at it. By the way, so first part I kind of want to talk about is I want to talk about Shanahan's part with you.
Shanahan's part. I'm from Pennsylvania, so I love his part.
Yeah. What'd you think about what he put together? Because you saw a lot of this footage before anyone.
Yeah, I mean, I would see it as it came in, and or I would see it once and go to Mike, and I would get it. But I love it. I think, like Vern said in there, the hard part about all of this is you have less time, both at a lot of these spots because you're getting kicked out. You also you don't have the seasons, or you have the seasons. So
yeah,
the time period that you have to film, and so I love this. You know what I mean? I'm a huge Philly fan.
Yeah,
I don't know. This I love this part.
And chat, I don't know.
He's such a mad filmer.
Yeah. Chat, I don't know how many of you guys are on the East Coast, but I don't know if you guys can see behind me. It's pitch black out there, and it's been pitch black since 4:30 p.m. today. So on the East Coast, when we talk about seasons, we're not just talking about, we have winter. We have daylight to deal with. We have like conditions. It gets wet and cold and frozen over here. So the ground that you're skating on and the spots that you're skating are straight crust. And like you can see half these spots are brick. Like it's not easy.
Now that's one of the hardest things I think in one of these contests is, and why you really have to have people that know the spots, they know the skaters, what they can do, is because there's just all these variables. It's not a perfect street course. And I think John killed it. He definitely did his thing, and it was super good. And there's going to be people that this is their favorite part for sure.
Definitely. And like he showed up in exactly John Shanahan style. Like he showed up, big pants, big shoes, everything's butters, and the spots all reflected his skating so well. I think like so many like just ledges on brick ground were like bump over trash cans. Like it's just classic Philly skating, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, he said it in his interview. He wants to keep that legacy going, and he did it. Absolutely, 100%.
Totally. And so I think we should probably talk about next someone that you already mentioned that we talked about, Ben Lawrie.
Yep.
So Ben,
this was my favorite part. I don't get a favorite, but I love this part.
It was so sick, dude. Like I've been a huge fan of this guy. So I'm a ledge skater. Like that's what I like. I love just torturing myself with the most insane ledge trick I can possibly think of, which is nothing close to what this guy's doing on a board. But it just everything he did was so perfect. And I remember a couple years ago, like his Instagram just showing up on my feed, right? Like Lincoln Square, and I was like, who is this guy? And he was just sitting on ledges, like this like this clip, and he just sits on them so smooth, and he's flipping out. And it was like he was skating this spot for Instagram clips, like he's that good.
I mean, the
And then
first
he
thing
just
I saw of him
disappeared.
was the nose grind around that like curved. I don't know if it's like a bench or whatever.
Yeah.
In his profile, and that was what put me on to him. But dude, I love this part. He had Tom Penny in there. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
If you guys don't know who Tom is, look it up.
Yeah, just that
Yeah.
cameo alone. So I love this part. It was the biggest. He's the least. I knew the least about him, and it was the biggest surprise.
He said too in it. He was like, I think I'm the least known skateboarder in the entire contest series. Which I mean, I'm like a skate nerd, and I just live in this all day on the internet. So of course I knew who he was. So it was a shock to me to hear. But like, I don't know. I mean, chat. You guys tell us. Like, did you hear of him before this contest? Like, I feel like I heard of him for a couple of years. But back to like Instagram, right? I found him a couple years ago, and then he disappeared. And in his profile, he talks about he took like a year off of skating.
Yep. Because
So
skateboarding drives you crazy, man.
And skating
You
at the
have
level
to be
he
crazy to
does.
skate in the first place, and then it drives you even crazier.
Yeah. And like to not only like skate so gnarly that you have to take time off of it, then to take a year off and come back and put out a part like this that quickly, like,
yeah,
it's insane.
Nah, he was killing it, and I hope that if you didn't know who he was, that you do now, and you're following him, and yeah, get him some big sponsors so he can move out of his mom's house.
I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll happen after this part.
Yep.
You wanna talk about Julian Lewis's part now?
Dude, I love that part too. I think the wall ride and ollie flip out is my favorite trick in the whole contest.
It was.
There it is. Boom.
Quite honestly, like, and I didn't watch. I watched the social clips. Like, you sent me the social clips, and I watched through them. But I purposely didn't watch the full parts because I just wanted to like enjoy it tonight, right? I wanted to just like watch it and be surprised and like have genuine shock. And I feel like I'm a little biased towards Julian. Like, I have his board like right there because we're from the same area. Like, I've known him forever, and he's one of my favorite skaters. Watching this clip, I just started yelling. Like, it's insane.
Dude, it's his whole part is so good, and Don LeLong. I mean, Don has won Real Street twice, with Cole. He has such a distinct style, and he always picks good music. So I love their part too. But this trip in particular was so good.
He when he said the thing too about, he was like, "Oh, I wanted to show off like what I can do on a board too." Like, I think he absolutely like did that, because when you look at his older footage, it's massive rails. It's like these gnarly spots, and then he shows up and does a primo slide like this. Like, yeah, someone just said trick of the year in chat, like 1,000%. Like, let's just start spamming trick of the year on that clip.
That was, and we didn't have time for it in the show, but that was definitely probably the trick with the most point of contention. It was like people didn't know if they loved it, if they didn't like it, but because it was him, you had to respect it because it was so different,
So he called me, I want to say like a year ago, and he was in North Carolina at a different spot, just being like, dude, I'm so cool. And he sent me the clip, and I'll see if I can find it, and I'll just like put it up on the Instagram tomorrow or something. But
I have the footage. I'll send it to you. I have the footage.
It's insane. But he flew to North Carolina to do a primo slide and then didn't get it, and went found another spot and did it again. Like, it's nuts.
Which seems like there should be a billion spots in California that you can do a primo slide. You know what I mean? Like perfect ledges. But for whatever reason, he was feeling the vibe out there.
He just decided to go East Coast to make it even gnarlier.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the Julian we know right there.
Right, yeah. That's like how he kind of showed up on the scene, I feel like. Is just going to 20 stair rails and 5-0ing them like nothing.
Yeah. He kills it. Definitely an underrated pro, in my opinion. He's so good.
I think so. And like he's so humble and he's so nice when you talk to him. He's like, even in his interview, he's like, I didn't really think I deserved it or whatever. And like he lets the skating talk for him, He doesn't have to do anything for it.
Yeah.
So
the coolest thing for me working the show is getting to go out with these dudes, and that's actually the spot we went to. This one right here, with Julian. For some behind the scenes, and that's the coolest experience is getting to meet these guys first and foremost, but then to watch their process and how they get tricks done. It's the coolest thing.
Yeah, you went to this spot with the tail block on the fence, or you went to the 5-0?
Yeah, we went to this one, the tail block on the fence. And it was one of those where I saw the footage and I was like, of the spot, and I'm like, I'm gonna get a trick on this. And I went there, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely not gonna get a trick on this, but it was so cool.
Yeah, I mean, just the sound alone too. It's like I feel like it's like one of those clips that like one of those like random accounts like Complex or some shit will pick up and just be like ASMR or something. It's a cool trick, and I think he showed up and just like he definitely had, in my opinion, the most unique trick selection
for sure
out of any of the athletes. Like technicality aside, these were some of the like I love weird skating, and these are some of the weird tricks that were like you would never expect, especially out of Julian.
Yeah, absolutely. No, he killed it. And that sound in there, I remember when we first got the video, because we went back. We filmed this, and then we went back and filmed behind the scenes. And he did it again for us. But I thought for sure in the video, I'm like, oh, they overdubbed the sound like to make it sound better. But when we got the raw
It
footage,
really does it.
Yeah, it's legit. It's just like perfect little brant. It was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, someone in the chat just said skate SMR, like the A is all capital, so I'll post that tomorrow and caption it too. But
there we go.
Jesse, I just want to say thanks for putting this together and like working with us and dealing with my late night texts and all confusion and stuff like that. But just want to say thank you for doing this, and do you have anything you want to say to everyone tuned in right now about this contest? Or
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say thank you to X Games and for putting it on all these years. I think it's super important. It's not it's not easy to understand what goes into street skateboarding, and our job is with this show is hopefully we paint that picture for people that they can watch. What these people do, why it's so hard, and then the filmmakers as well, because they're in the trenches with these guys every day. So, I'm just grateful that we get to do it, and thankful to Mike for bringing us in. Like I said, so shout out to everybody and all the skaters this year who they get my late night texts asking for footage and get to link up and interview them and be a part of their sessions. Because I mean, when am I going to get to go skate with Carlos Ribeiro? It's like never, but this contest makes that happen. So it's really cool.
right on. Well, thank you, man, for tuning in and doing everything you do for us. Like you're the man.
I appreciate it, guys. Hopefully, you're going to talk to some real talent now. So bring them in.
All right. Later, buddy. All right, chat. I think it's time we bring in a medalist. I think we're going to bring in Carlos Ribeiro, bronze medalist. Carlos.
What's up?
What's going on, man? How you feeling? Bronze medal.
I'm stoked, man. I'm definitely hyped. Super hyped.
Dude, your part was incredible. Like some of those tricks that you put together were like I never even thought to put any of those together. Where do you get the, like, as a ledge skater myself who enjoys kind of like torturing myself with like insanely technical tricks that are not even close to what you do, but for me, a torture, how do you decide what you're even going to try that day?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I always try to look, like I said before, I always try to do like the best I can at the spot. And sometimes I'm trying to trick and then like accidentally almost do like the upgrade of the trick. If that happens, I can't go back to the trick I was trying. I have to do the upgraded one, and then I get stuck.
If you accidentally flip out, you got to flip out.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Dude. I mean, and I got to say too, there's a lot of switch in this part, and I think it's no shocker. Like, obviously, you're one of the switch gods. What caused that? Like, how did you start kind of just deciding I'm gonna skate switch and I'm gonna be one of the best?
Well, that started back in Brazil. Like when I was a little kid going to like contests, I would see a lot of kickflip from boards, kickflip crooked grind, kickflip 50. And I was like, I don't want to do those tricks. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn them switch. So I actually like learned a lot of tricks switch first. And I had to like learn them regular afterwards because I just was like obsessed by Andre Genovese, Rodrigo Peterson, and TX. So I wanted to
Yeah.
like switch flip back tail before I even like could kick flip back tail and stuff like that.
So you would like do a switch flip back tail and people just thought it was regular because you were just doing it first.
I feel like you definitely could see it was switch because that I was definitely struggling too.
That's awesome, dude. I want to talk about the next clip too. The flip it the switch flip crook. Oh, we can talk about this one too. Switch flip grind. Like, how was this trick in the dark? Switch flip into a grind. How long did this take you?
This take me a minute. This is like my first project after the surgery, and I've been dealing with injuries for like the last 3 years. So like as I
Yeah.
was coming back, I got the infection, and this was like my first rail session after the surgery, and I had that trick in mind, but I totally thought like I was kind of like second guessing myself, like I don't know if I can do this, but yeah, it kind of worked. We tried to skate during the day. We couldn't skate. Kicked out twice actually. Went 3 times, and then the third time we decided to go at night, and we just lit up the spot. And I went skated with my friend with Felipe Mota. He did a trick there too, and session went well. And I was excited to do that. That was like my confident booster, trick.
Totally. Was it when you hurt your leg? Was it your back foot or your front foot?
Was my front foot, left foot.
So it was for like if you're doing this right here, this switch flip crook, it's the one you'd be popping with, right? It's your
It's the pop. That's what it's
yeah.
like. It was bugging me this whole time. It's the popping all in switch.
So that like outer muscle when you roll the ankle, like the one right above the ankle bone, you probably had to do so much work to get the pop back from that.
Yes, dude, so much PT. Dude. Thankful we got like the best PT homies that
Dude,
helped me out. You know.
I did the same thing like 2 years ago. Like all three of those major ligaments on the outside of the ankle. Like when I saw the clip I didn't know it was coming, and I got like shivers and like shut down. I just like it was
Yeah.
so brutal. But like to
You know
come
what's
out of
funny?
that, go ahead.
That tore the ligament on the inside. That tore the deltoid ligament. Like I partially tore the outsider ones,
Yeah.
but I fully tore the inside one, the deltoid, on like
Oh,
rolling outward. It was pretty.
because it like went forward or something and pulled it. Oh,
Yeah, like the,
dude.
the foot moved back a little bit and like sliced the ligament.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Well, dude, I mean,
it's bad.
coming out of an injury and putting a part like this together is pretty impressive.
I
How long
was
did it
hyped,
take you to
man.
kind of like be comfortable?
You know what? It's funny because the deadline kept getting pushed back, and I was like super stoked on that because at first in February I could barely skate, and then like it got pushed back to like June or July, and I'm like, okay, like still got some time. But
Yeah.
actually started filming around like July and August.
Oh, really? So this took you what, 2 months to put together?
Yeah, pretty much something like that.
Casual, dude. 2 months for a bronze medal, man. You must be
I'm
pretty stoked.
stoked. This is definitely a confidence booster, for myself. Like coming back from the injury, I'm pretty hyped, man.
Totally, dude. Hey, man. Well, what are you doing with the winnings? Anything cool?
I don't know. I got 3 kids, so we gotta like be wise with it. Let's see what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Well, dude, I appreciate you taking the time, man. Thanks for checking in.
Of
And
course, man.
congratulations. Chat is the whole time was unbelievably stoked on your part, by the way. I'm like just seeing them all come in the whole time.
That's amazing, man. I'm stoked.
Hey, man. Well, thank you again. And I'll see you soon somewhere.
All
for
right,
sure.
Josh. All right, brother.
buddy.
Much love, man.
Later, dude. Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, we can just let's play some of the Felipe's clips and let's just talk about his part real quick. So I think Felipe is in China right now, actually on a film mission. So I don't know if he's going to be able to join us. But chat, I mean, you guys watch Felipe's part. He probably put, I want to say, the most clips in the entire part, and everything, like Vern said in the show, everything was a flip in. Like this right here, switch frontside flip tail, or switch frontside flip nose, however you want to go with it, and then just tosses a casual frontside flip in at the end. I've filmed with Felipe a couple times now, kind of at like, he'll come out to X Games or whatever event we're at, and I'm a social media filmer, right? Like I'm not up there like these guys, like Daniel Golly, like filming in the streets. But when Felipe said, I want to produce the best tricks I can, so I'll do things multiple times, he wasn't joking. He will sit there and he will practice a trick meticulously until he can get it so proper that it looks like a video game. And when this guy skates, it legitimately looks like a video game. Like, what's the setting in skate when you can like make your guy's style super casual and you just land arms down, J Scott hands down like that? It's incredible. And like right here too, like fakie heel flip, switch nose manny. If you guys have ever skated and like just trying to do a straight 8, in my opinion, the fakie heel flip's the hardest one. To be able to do that and then land in a fakie manny is it's insane. And then he just does a switch backside flip down the like the little 3 block after. Like, no problem. And I mean this clip right here. It is just, it's insane. Like he said, I think in his part, he said he was the first one to skate this spot, or maybe second one. I think someone else did a clip and he just showed up. And if you guys follow X Games on social media, we posted kind of his like battle clip where he shows up and he just does a back nose one, right? Just casual back nose one, which for anyone else would not only be a clip, but just be an absolute, that'd be your ender. And so he did that maybe like third try. And then we got all the clips of him just coming through and he did the switch flip back nose one. Like, I don't know. I saw like 10 tries. Probably a couple got cut out, but to do it this proper and this perfect and then just roll away just like that, like, oh my God, dude. It's perfect. And then right here, like the technician, the switch god, and the technical ability this guy has, and then he just goes straight to this massive drop. Another switch frontside flip. So I don't know what it is about that trick too. I think he's actually trying to tune in right now from over there. So maybe he's trying to get some service over there or something. I think, opposite side of the globe takes a little bit to get through the ether. But if you've seen him do a switch frontside flip, I have never seen him miss one. And I've watched a lot of contest runs of him. I've watched a lot of footage. And the setup, the flip, and everything is exactly the same every single time. It's just incredible to watch. And he's just the most casual, down to earth dude, blasting Biggie the whole time. He's the man. So chat, what do you guys think about his part? Like, in my opinion, we had technology called Wi-Fi. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how Wi-Fi works, bro. Yeah, I mean, dude, his part was just the most clips I saw at anyone. Player 247 voted for him. If you guys don't know, you can still vote for fan favorite, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I could be totally wrong. But if you guys want, there is fan vote still. And fan vote is, I'm not sure if they get a medal, but what they do get is $5,000. So if you guys aren't going to go vote for them, I think we're going to put a button in that you can vote for me too for blurriest host of all time. So if you guys want for me to get a better camera, you can also choose me. Yeah, his nollie flip crook is like we said, like he's the most structured dude I've ever seen on a board. Like it's everything is so precise. Also, this is something I'll bring up with him if he gets in. Yeah, super lazy style. It's like if you took Nick Trapasso and you just like made him super structured and super technical. Like everything just butters, hands down. But something I want to talk to him about when he comes in is I was with Letitia at one point. I was asking her how long she skates a board for, right? For me, a board will last I don't know, 3-4 weeks. Like I'm a pretty casual skater, but I try to skate every single day. Felipe, according to Letitia, and we'll confirm with him when he gets in, Felipe skates a new board every single day, which is something I cannot fathom. Like it takes me a little bit to break in a board, takes me a little time to get used to it, and I'm just starting to like kind of skate the same shape over and over in my old age. But it's, skating a fresh board every day must just feel great. So while Felipe tries to tune in from over there, we're going to bring in Braden Hoban, your gold medalist. And he's going to load in right now. So if you guys have any questions for Braden, just go ahead and put them in the chat, and I can just start asking him when he gets in. Braden. Can you hear me? Oh, you're on mute, bud. There it is. Some technical difficulties here. We're going to get Braden in. Braden. We're going to see if we can get him in. Hang on, guys. The gold guy. Yeah. We'll get it working, everyone. If you guys didn't know, when I tried to load into this, my camera and my mic didn't work for the first 3 hours we tried to make this whole thing happen. So I don't understand how streamers, how everyone does this. It's where does Braden get his vintage shirts? All right, I'm writing that one down because I also want to know that.
We good? Yep.
G, I got you, buddy.
Can you hear Josh though?
Oh no!
Nah.
Oh no!
Uh.
Oh, he can't hear me. All right.
Okay.
All right, chat. We got someone in the ear, and he's going to relay the questions to Braden. So, first off, Braden, gold medalist. How's it feel?
Crazy. It feels pretty good. There are a lot of good skaters and video parts in this one, so it feels really good, and just cool to be a part of this kind of contest is insane.
I feel like a lot of people knew going into this contest that you were just going to be a powerhouse, right? Like we all expected that you were going to be on the podium. And when we saw your video, it just was like I mean, I was just sitting here and I was off camera, but I could see myself and I was watching it and I just found myself like just zoning out, smiling, watching the park. Like the footage, the song, everything was perfect. What was it like filming this?
Oh, thank you, Josh. Appreciate it.
What was it like filming?
What was the question? Oh, what was it like filming it? Well, it was cool. I mean, it's like all just stuff on the Yeto trips we go on. Just like a lot of just like East Coast stuff, and like this backsmith was in Grand Rapids, Michigan. But just clips from all over, just from those trips. And
it's just all with
it was
the
really
homies
cool,
the whole
like
time.
just getting the call from Mike Sinclair and just, like bringing Cody in, and it's like Cody is such an amazing editor, and I knew he would be able to make something really special. And yeah, just with the bros, just the trips we go on for like 3 months, and just, you know, everyone just filming video parts and just keeping the energy up. And I mean, it was really fun to film. I mean, it's always fun to film, and just being on the road with the G's.
Jeez.
With the G's, dude.
And you went to every single spot that I got to tag along, and you just destroyed every spot we had. Like I think you had a clip at every spot that you went to.
Oh, in Connecticut?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a good time.
That was sick, dude. What chat
It
wanted
was
to know.
sick. I mean, like,
are
yeah,
there
like
any
being there with Julian too, because like Julian grew up there, and just seeing like spots that he skated when he was a kid too, and you know, just like skating that little skate park with Josh every morning. It was very sick.
Sick, dude. Someone from chat wanted to know: are there any funny or unexpected moments when you were filming for this? Just anything fried happened.
I mean, the whole thing was just really fun. I mean, it's always just sick to go on trips with your friends, you know, and it's like we're pretty much just living the dream. So I think any video part or project that I've ever done, it's just been, you know, just very fortunate that I can do these things, you know, and it's always, I mean, this is all I want to be doing, you know, so it's always just been so fun. I can't really recall like a specific memory, but you know, it's always just sick, just being out there and, you know, just like looking for new spots and just skating stuff with your bros and trying
I
to
want
get
to talk
clips.
about that. I want to talk about that board slide too. The one that you crash into the
slide,
wall
yeah.
after you landed.
Atlanta.
That was in Atlanta. Oh, this is there. Yeah. Is this the clip? No, this is the feeble.
Oh, the
we
Feebles.
have.
Oh, this one, I think this was in Atlanta too.
Nope, this is
This
backsmith
one
front.
was Albany. And this is Boston.
Oh, maybe we don't have the board slide pulled up, but that board slide that
was
you
pretty
did, where it's
sick.
like
A lot of people
you
have been
crash
fucking it
into
up
the
recently.
wall, and it's like, how was it filming that? How was that? That was your battle, huh?
Yeah, I mean that one was just tough because it was just kind of just like breaking through the mental barrier of, you know, putting yourself in the pocket, whereas Dakota likes to call like pulling or like pressing the button, you know. It's like you just have to press the button and just like try it, and just kind of like breaking through and actually trying the trick was kind of the hardest part, you know. It's like you could get on a board slide and just bitch out and jump off like forever, but it just takes like that icebreaker one where you're just like, okay, like that's what it felt like, you know. And then the wall definitely sucked. I mean, you know, spots with no landing always are just a pain. And I did one that I kind of tried to like curve out, and it was just too quick, and just kind of like stepped off my board. And then I knew I had to do another one, so thankfully got that one, and it looked pretty cool with just running into the fence.
I mean, it looked pretty tough, dude.
It was
body in a wall.
It was just a scary one to try, you know.
Yeah, totally. So gold medal, you're leaving here with a pretty hefty stack of cash. What are you going to do with the winnings?
Probably just put it in my savings, invest. I don't know.
The responsible answer, everyone.
I'll have to talk to my dad about that one. You know,
the bank manager.
He's my financial advisor. So
that's good. Good move, dude. Good move. Is there anything from this part that like really stood out to you? Like, where the music choice? Like, how'd you come up with that song?
So the music was really cool. So our buddy from Nashville, Kyle Cox, is just an amazing musician, artist. And you know, every time we go to Nashville, he's just like him and his family are just the best, you know, like just showing us around and really really just take care of us, you know. And yeah, I thought it'd be sick. I hit him up and I was like, dude, it'd be sick. Like if we could use one of your songs, he's like, go for it. Like whatever one you want to use, just let me know. And he was just so hyped, and I'm hyped we got to use Kyle's song for sure. And just stoked it worked out. It's pretty crazy, pretty surreal.
I feel like it makes it such like a more special part using like a song that means something to you or like a homie or whatever. Like even like the whole time, like I'm watching the
sure.
chat and the live stream and they're just they were all so juiced on the song. They were like, this just like feels good, man. Like everyone was so stoked. And at the end, everyone was like,
oh,
we
so
want
cool.
more. Everyone was like, we wanted more, dude. Like it's your skating is just amazing, bro.
That's pretty awesome to hear. Kyle's gonna be very hyped to hear that too.
W's in the chat for Kyle, everyone. Spam him.
Oh yes.
Well, Braden, I
We'll
just
be
want to
dropping
say
a new
thank you
album
so
soon as
much
well, so check it out.
for album coming out.
Oh yeah.
We'll put it up on the story. We'll share it. Well, dude, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for doing what you do and just being one of the gnarliest people on a board right now and just giving us all something to watch. Because I think it's safe to say that like the people's champ, like you're everyone's favorite skater. Your favorite skater's favorite skater. So thanks for being you, dog. And congratulations.
Oh man, I appreciate it, Josh. And yeah, thank all you guys for just tuning in and watching, and just everyone that's involved with X Games and Real Street, and Mike Sinclair for offering me a spot. And yeah, let's keep it going.
Cool, man. Well, hey, I'll catch you at the next one, whatever it is. I'm sure if you're on the East Coast, you know who to hit up. We'll go skate.
Oh yes. Oh
Sick,
yes,
dude. Hell yeah. All right.
All right.
Later, buddy. Peace.
Peace.
Wow. Well, without further ado, you guys spent a lot of time on xgames.com voting for your fan favorite. So there's no surprise. Well, maybe a little bit of a surprise, but there's no surprise to me because, you know, I watched the part and the guy had the most clips. And it's pretty funny that he's not logged into this because he can't get on the Zoom because he's over in China. But I want to say Felipe Gustavo is your fan favorite for Real Street 2024. So all you guys that were in the chat saying I voted for Felipe, I voted for Felipe, you guys did it. You guys got the dub for your boy. And is Felipe, let me find out if the technical difficulties were fixed. We're going to see if we can get him in here in the chat. But yeah, silver medalist and your fan vote. So he's leaving here with a pretty hefty stack of cash. All right. Yeah, it's we're not able to pull him in from over there. Something about the internet. But you know what we're going to do for you guys? We're going to sit down with Felipe after. We're going to get his reaction to winning, talking about it, and we're going to make it work, and we'll share it on X Games social so you guys know what to do. Follow us on X Games on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on TikTok, wherever you guys want to be. YouTube, Twitch, I don't know, name it. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Chat, you guys have been popping off the entire time this has been going down. And thanks for listening to me yap. I don't think there's anyone on the planet that loves skateboarding more than I do. And I feel extremely lucky that I get to sit here and just talk about skating. And you guys may or may not like listening to me talk about it, but I appreciate you sitting through it anyways. So until we meet again, thank you for tuning in to Real Street 2024. X Games, we're signing out. I'll see you guys later. Mahalo.